Alright everyone, what is going on? I hope you're doing absolutely awesome today, and welcome back to the final installment of a WoW Classic Gold Farming series that I've been doing. So, today, as you can see, we're in the Barrens on our way to Razorfen Kraul. Now, before we go any further, let me just start out by saying, if you've not seen the last video in the series, you can check that out by clicking the card in the upper right hand corner of the portion of the screen right now. That will take you directly to a link to the video where you see me take on Gnomragon. Anyway, back down to the topic at hand. So this dungeon is done in typically 3 pulls and will last you anywhere around 10 to 13 minutes, give or take. Specific pull route that we're going to be doing in this dungeon is as follows. Okay, so as you can see, this is the start of the instance. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go all the way around here, all the way up here, round to here, down to here. Once we get to here, this is a bridge, so we'll cross over the bridge, come to here to this little section here. So once we get to here, there's another bridge here as well. We'll get onto the bridge and we jump down right here. So what we do then is we go back round on ourselves, go all the way up here, end up here, and then we keep going and going until we get to here. And then once we're here, that's the end of the pull, so we just run back to the start of the instance, run out and reset, and there we go. So as you can see, it's a nice little loop that you do that brings you back to the start of the instance, keeping it nice and short, which is really good. That's what we want from a gold farmer dungeon. So yeah, now the only downside, well, there's 2 things here that sort of let this down. Okay, so the first one being there's 2 specific kind of mobs that you're going to see later on in the video that basically, much like Zul'Farrak, they drop down these totems which obviously do like all these different kind of effects. The main one being a healing totem. Now obviously if you've got more than one of these mobs on you, there's going to be multiple totems dropping down. So obviously, as you know, with us being a paladin, we don't do a lot of damage, so when there's a lot of them around, it kind of ruins the pull, and obviously we can end up dying because of that. So be very cautious when it comes to that. Now the second thing that sort of lets it down is basically where the instance is located. So as you can see, Razorfen Kraul is right at the bottom of the Barrens. Now if you're an Alliance player, you've got 2 options really. You've got a 5-minute run to Ratchet, or you have to go through 1,000 Needles to the start of Theralas, where there's a little camp here for the Alliance. Now the fastest one being the Theralas one, which is right here. That only takes you 2 minutes because obviously, you know, it's literally right there. So you just run down there to the lift, which takes you to the Barrens. Then obviously the lift is right there and the instance is right here. So that by far is the fastest thing to do. Unfortunately, there's no place to set your HS, so when you do run to here, you've got to literally just run there and back. So all in all, after selling all your stuff, you're probably looking about 6 or 7 minutes in total, which isn't that bad. Whereas here, again, they're about the same. If you HS here, obviously you get there instantly, but you've got a 5-minute walk back. See, obviously the good thing about Ratchet is it's got a bank there, so if you need to do anything, then you can do that as well. Plus they've got a mailbox, which is perfect for sending stuff to your ults. Anyway, without rumbling too much, let's move on and show my gear, shall we? Judgment Crown, Choker at the Fire Lord, Lordbringer Shoulders, Sprite Caster Cape, Demon Forge Breastplate, Gallant's Wrist Guards, Quoll Sirah, Skullflame Shield, Briarwood Reed, Uther's Strength, Nagel Ring, Songstone of Ironforge, Lordbringer Boots, Lordbringer Legs, Belt of the Ordained, and Dracorian Gauntlets. And like always, as you see my talents, I got 31 points in Holy, 13 points in Protection, and 7 in Retribution. And finally, moving on to buffs, we'll start out by using Retribution Aura. We'll also give ourselves a Greater Blessing of Wisdom, Divine Favour. As for any potions or anything that I'll be using, we've got an Elixir of the Sages, so we'll be using that. We've also got a Scroll of Protection giving us another 120 armor, so we'll use that as well. And as you can see guys, before we begin looting anything, we're starting off at 345 gold. So, let's get into the pull. Right, we'll start the timer and run up here. We'll use Seal of Light for this one, so we'll grab you. Grab this one, go down here. Okay, so that went a lot harder and a lot slower than what it normally is. That's because of the people that lay down the totems. But it's no worries, as you can see we did it fairly competently, so that's good. There we go. Okay, so let's loot everybody up, guys. Right, give ourselves Divine Favour and mana up and get ready for the next pull. As you can see, it's going a little bit slower today because obviously I'm only using a level 45 water instead of the 55 one, but that's no problem. We'll get by just fine. Okay, pull number 2, guys. Let's go! Okay, this could be pretty difficult. Yeah. See, the sages and the totemics, they all drop down the totems, which is very, very annoying. So the best thing to do is to finish them really fast. Just focus on getting those down first. Because I mean, look how many totems they got, it's ridiculous. And there we go, guys. Pull number 2. So let's loot everybody up. So as you just seen, that is a really small pull, and obviously the reason behind that is, like I mentioned at the start of the video, where there's certain mobs that are just really annoying. So it's these guys here, the totemics, and it's, if I can find one, where are they? Well, it's the sages as well, them. Both of those guys drop down the excuse me, both of them drop down the totems, which stun you in place. They also give you one that gives them some sort of protection. I imagine it just gives them like an armor buff or something, but they also do the healing one, which is really annoying because obviously as you're AoEing them down, you know, as a paladin you don't do a lot of damage anyway. Let's just pause this for a second. So as a paladin you don't do a whole lot of damage with your AoE anyway, so when there's like at least 2 or more of these totems down, these healing ones, your damage is just greatly reduced because of that, which makes it a lot harder. And as you've seen, just in those few packs, there's one. There was a sage there. I don't know if you can see it again. Yeah, there was a sage there. There. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them, and it took all that time just because there was 5 of them. So yeah, it makes it a lot difficult. Also keep note guys, there's a couple of chests here as well. Most of them are locked that I find, but yeah, it's whatever. Anyway, so now with full mana, we'll just give ourselves divine favor. We'll continue the timer and let's go to pool number 3, guys. See, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to skip all these because, you know, it's just pointless doing them. There is extra gold for it if you want to do them, but I skip these. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to run right over this bridge. There's another chest there, as you can see, guys. Run right over here. And once I get to here, I'm going to jump down. So doing this, what will happen is it will cause those mobs up there to evade. Now the reason why we do this is obviously mentioned at the start of the video. This is like a giant loop which brings you back to the start of the instance. So we're going to cast Seal of Wisdom and start grabbing these balls. Come here, little piggy. Okay, so this is pool number 3, guys. That's just a case of AoE the Dan. Nice and easy. Boom. And there we go, guys. So let's loot everybody up. And there we go, guys. That's it. That's Razorfen Kraul in 3 simple pulls. As you can see, it's taking me about 12 minutes to do this. Also, if you remember at the start of the video where I mentioned skinning, this is where it will come in very handy. All of these, which will increase your gold greatly. I don't actually have skinning, so we're just going to leave that. But yeah, what happens is once you've done that, it brings you back here, which is right near the start if you remember. So all we have to do now is just run back here. Run down here. And then the entrance is just there, which is perfect. Alright everyone, okay, so here we are at the vendor in Ratchet. Now, as you see, once we open up all of our bags, if you remember at the start of the video, we started off with 345 gold. Now we're at 346, so straight away that is just over a gold increase, which is really nice. Now if we take a look at the repairable, it's less than a gold, so we'll just take that away right now. and we're still at 346. So as of right now, the only thing that I've really picked up from that one single run is all of the cloth, which as you can see we've got quite a bit of silk cloth, which is really nice. We've also got nearly a full stack of wool cloth. But for the purpose of the video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to sell absolutely everything, just so you guys can see how much money you make from the vendor. So let's do that, shall we? And there we go, guys, 348 gold. So straight away from that, guys, as you can see, there's a 3 gold increase just from one single run. Now I'll admit that that's probably not all of the gold that you can get, just because as you've seen there were quite a few mobs there that I did skip, just because there was just, in this particular instance, there was too many sages and totemics, which sometimes you're going to run into this problem. Obviously each as you know, each mob spawn is random every time you reset the instance, just like with Scarlet Monastery. You know, sometimes there can be quite a lot of the casters, whereas other times it's nearly all the melee. So yeah, it's just you look at a draw really when it comes to that. So in my case, I was just unfortunate and we got the low end of the stick this time. But that's not the end of it, guys. Obviously, as you've seen, I got quite a few cloths, so we're going to buy them back right now anyway, because I'm going to send them to my bank vault for the auction house. But also, blues do drop. Let's take a look at the Atlas loot. As you see from all the trash mobs, we've got this, which is worth a potential, 80 or so gold. This, which is worth about 70 gold. Got another 20 gold there, 20 gold there, 52 gold there, which is really good. That's worth about 10 gold, it's not so great. We got 100 gold there, and we got nearly 90 gold there as well. So there are quite a lot of blues in here that are really valuable. I'm not sure, obviously. Also, I'm not entirely sure if this add-on is completely accurate, because if you take a look at this clip here, you can see that I have a blue bow drop. Now obviously this blue isn't listed in the list here, so I'm not really sure what happened there, but still, that's a nice extra 20 gold or so for me. So yeah, for saying, it's a really small dungeon where you just literally come around here like so and, go through there and whatever. A nice 15-minute run, well, just under 15 minutes. So yeah, guys, based off of the time of around 13 minutes a run, obviously, again, like I say, this was on the real slow side for me. The fastest I've done it is around 11 minutes. The slowest is around this time. So with that being said, let's round up all the numbers to give ourselves an hourly rate. So going by that, you're looking around 15 to 20 gold an hour. Obviously increasing this load a little bit even more if obviously you sell all of the silk cloth and the wool cloth, and obviously you keep a lot of greens for the auction house, and if you get lucky as well with a blue item that drops. So yeah, guys, is this viable? Well, yes and no. In my opinion, I would come back here a couple of times if I was, say, bored of Scarlet Monastery or something, because let's be honest, we all know that Scarlet Monastery at the minute is the absolute best for paladins in terms of gold farming. Which, by the way, guys, if you've not seen my videos on those, then you can go ahead and check them out. You can find them in a playlist with a link to that playlist in the description below this video. I'm going to go and say, yeah, this one is viable. Although I wouldn't recommend doing this over and over again as your main gold farming method. Like you've seen in this whole series, guys, there's a lot more options out there that are better than 20 odd gold an hour as standard. Like I say, Scarlet Monastery, you can get around 60 gold or so an hour from that. Heck, even in Stockade, you can get about 50 gold an hour. So yeah, there are a lot better options than this. But it's not a bad option if you're looking for something that's, slightly different. So yeah, guys, this is where I'm going to wrap things up and conclude this series. So if you have enjoyed the series so far, guys, definitely smash that like button. It shows me that you're interested in the videos that I'm doing and you're liking the content that I'm releasing. Now, also, I know that I said going by the Atlas loot, looking at all of the dungeons, we've done all of these so far. As you know, we've already done the Scarlet Monastery instances beforehand as well. So as of right now, we're about halfway through the entire list of dungeons in WoW Classic. So the reason why I've stopped here and ended it is simply because literally all of these you can do solo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this playlist up, call it a part 1 or label it something different, I'm not sure yet. We've also, as I've just said, we've also done Scarlet Monastery stuff. That can be a separate playlist as well. So what's next is we're going to start off with Razorfen Downs and work our way down, probably to Maradon. Now, the reason why I'm not going to go any further is because I know that for these 4 dungeons here, I definitely need a group. Now, as for these, when it comes to gold farming, well, I guess we're going to have to get a little bit creative and see what we come up with. But I know that there's going to be something there that you're going to like to see. So, if you're looking forward to the rest of this, guys, don't forget to subscribe. And when you do subscribe, make sure that you hit the bell icon, as you will then be the first to be notified when I release new videos.
Also, if you enjoyed today's video, then show some support by giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your friends. Well, until the next time, see ya.